Donald Trump has been re-elected as the president of the United States, and Ghana has 30 days more to its general elections. Here on GhanaWeb TV, we promise to bring you up-to-date update on what will be happening on the grounds here on the Ballot Briefing with me, Patricia Roxon Hammond. And to our first story, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Gbagbein, has once again suspended a sitting of the House indefinitely. The suspension was due to the NPP MPs boycotting the House sitting on Thursday, November 7, 2024. The Speaker explained that he had to suspend the meeting indefinitely because the House did not have the numbers to make decisions. He also said that there was no business before the House for consideration because the Business Committee of Parliament did not meet to present one to the plenary. Gbagbein expressed his frustration about the absence of the New Patriotic Party members of Parliament because he summoned the House upon the request of the leadership of the MPs. My colleague George AC was in the House and joined us via Zoom. Hi, George.
Hello, Patricia.
How are you doing?
Very well.
You're in Parliament today. Can you please brief us on what happened?
Yes, so the House, as you rightly stated, was reconvened on the orders of the Speaker based on a memo sent to the Speaker by my NPP caucus demanding the recall to take care of some urgent government businesses. When the House convened at about before 10, when the House was supposed to start sitting, the NDC caucus had occupied the right-hand side, which by convention is usually occupied by the majority because the NDC have noticed that
Repeating what they did the last time.
Yes, they are the majority side of the House. And I think because of that, the NPP caucus wanted clarity on that. So they stayed away from coming. And then the Speaker walks in and says, because of the state being faced with the same situation where the current number does not constitutionally qualify to take decisions, he's compelled to re-adjourn the House or suspend the House once again. And so he suspended sitting, and then DC addressed the House and accused the MPP of shying away from their own business or being in the disarray. The NDC caucus leader, Akufo-Addo, said he equated the situation to somebody calling for a football match and refusing to honor the same match. And so they felt disappointed, and they also felt that the MPP is abusing the provisions of the Constitution that allows for emergency recalls. And some few minutes after that, the MPP, led by their leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, also gave a press briefing. And theirs was that when they realized that the NDC caucus had occupied the right-hand side of the Speaker, they needed to seek clarity on that. And before they could do that, the Speaker had just gone ahead to adjourn the House indefinitely. So they have actually said they will once again and immediately activate another recall of the House. And they have threatened to impeach the Speaker. This is coming from
the MPP caucus.
Member of Parliament.
Okay. I know they're supposed to go on recess in a few days to help them go campaign for the upcoming elections. Do you think this indefinite adjournment will affect them in any way?
This particular is proving to be push the whole situation into a very critical one, where, because ordinarily when Parliament adjourns sitting, MPs are quick to travel to their constituencies, and considering the period that we find ourselves in a campaigning period. So some of these MPs probably are currently on their way to their constituencies. By provision, it takes not less than 7 days to 2 weeks to recall the House within such circumstance. And considering that we are in an election year, even if they can recall the House by any urgent circumstance, they cannot have any long sitting for a number of days because we are just a few days from election, and these MPs need to go to their constituency to campaign. And like I said, from the very last time when the MPP triggered this provision that allowed the emergency recall, it took about 2 weeks for the Speaker to give the 7-day notice for them to come. So in any case, another recall might take some time for them to come, and this will be coming just a few days to election. And so we are in a very dicey situation here.
Let's see how it goes moving forward. Thank you very much, George. And moving on, in preparation for the December 7th election, the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council on Sunday, November 3, hosted a national peace campaign called Peace Campaign 2024 to promote peace before and after the elections. A significant show of unity and dedication to peace was demonstrated as prominent political figures and traditional leaders gathered at the forecourt of the State House. Notable attendees included John Dramani Mahama, the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, that's the NDC, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, that's the NAPO, the vice presidential candidate of the NPP, and Hassan Ayariga, All People's Congress presidential candidate, among others. And here are excerpts from the event. Moving on, reaffirming his and the National Democratic Congress commitment to upholding the peace of Ghana, former President John Dramani Mahama, who was speaking at the peace campaign, urged Ghanaians to remain vigilant in protecting the country's peace. He also criticized President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his vice, Dr. Mohamed Bawumia, for their absence at the National Peace Campaign launch on Sunday.
The militarization of our elections must end. In respect to the pre-election peace accord, we will be making an official proposal to the National Peace Council to expand the signatories to the Peace Pact to include other important stakeholders in our elections. We believe that this will bind other important institutions to play their role for a peaceful election. It is our hope that this will make the pact a more binding commitment to peace, and not just a ceremonial piece of paper without any meaning. I suspended my campaign in the Northern region today and had to arrange for a private charter flight from Tamale to be able to attend this program. I am therefore extremely disappointed that both the President and the Vice President did not consider this program important enough to grace it with their physical presence. They, more than any person, bear a heavy more than any person, bear a heavy responsibility for the peace of our nation. It is important, therefore, for them to have prioritized this event.
Still on the peace campaign, the running mate for the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, called on all political parties to sign the peace accord to let Ghanaians know they mean what they say.
We of the NPP have always been resolute in our conviction that the peace of this country is more important and is paramount, and that an election campaign is the contest of ideas in the quest of the people's mandate to form a government and lead this country. Our flag bearer has always embodied this important principle, and we will continue in this path. We've spoken a lot, and I think that it is time for us to put words into action. Let us sign the peace accord to demonstrate that we mean what we say.
The presidential candidate of the All People's Congress APC, Dr. Hassan Ayariga, has lamented the government's failure to maintain peace in his hometown Bawku in the Upper East region. Speaking at the peace campaign, Dr. Ayariga revealed that one of his bodyguards was among over 20 people who have been killed since the resurgence of the Bawku conflict. He shared that his bodyguard, while traveling to Bogatanga, was forcibly removed from his vehicle and burned to death.
The problem in Bawku is escalating. I'm just coming from a funeral. I was there with the chief imam to bury 4 people from Accra who were shot and killed in Wale Wale, just driving the stretch to Bolga. And people have mounted roadblocks, moving people out of their cars and killing them with impunity, shooting at them, burning them. One of my bodyguards is a victim. I just lost one of my bodyguards who was burned to ashes. So as we are here, this forum is not just for peace, it's a creating of awareness of something bigger than peace. That is why I'm here to tell you. The government need to come out clearly, because 4 weeks to elections, this is happening in Bawku, it is happening in Wale Wale. It's coming slowly, it's migrating. Very soon, we cannot all sleep in our homes. Even the security in our homes will be running away.
Radio presenter Philip Apiakubi, popularly known as Roman Fada, has officially filed his nomination to contest as a presidential candidate for the Ghana Freedom Party in the pending elections. Accompanied by party executives, Roman Fada made a significant appearance at the Electoral Commission on Tuesday, November 5, 2024, to submit his nomination papers. His candidacy comes in the wake of the passing of Akua Donkor, the GFP's founder and former flag bearer. Meanwhile, he has hinted of selecting a female running mate. The chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, has assured political parties and the public that all discrepancies identified in the 2024 voter register has been addressed. During the presentation of the final and certified voter register to political parties in Accra on Wednesday, November 6, 2024, she noted that over 150 issues that were raised about the register has been resolved, ensuring the accuracy and integrity of the electoral roll. She further reaffirmed the EC's commitment to a free, fair and credible elections.
Ladies and gentlemen, following the re-exhibition of the revised Provisional Voters Register, the Commission received a total of 158 issues from registered voters across the country. I'm pleased to note that all the issues have been resolved, and as we speak, we have no further issues regarding the final voters register for the 2024 general election. As you may recall, at that meeting, we provided the political parties with a template on which to report any issues they had with the revised provisional voters register. I'm again pleased to inform you and the good people of Ghana that no political party presented any issues regarding the register for resolution. I'm pleased to note that we now have a robust and credible final certified voters register, which is fit to deliver a credible, transparent, fair, peaceful, and glorious election come the 7th of December 2024. And now, in the exercise of my duty as chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, and in fulfillment of Regulation 27 of CI 91, as amended by CI 126, I hereby declare the 2024 final voters register as duly certified. It is finished.
The United States of America has elected Donald John Trump as the 47th president. Trump has secured about 300 of the Electoral College votes, needing about 270 to cross the threshold required to clinch the presidency. The Republican Party now holds control of the U.S. Senate and possibly the House of Representatives. My colleague Maoli is here with me to help us understand what's really happening from the 45th president to now 47th.
Yeah.
And I know some people are angry because others describe him as a racist, but he comes with his own policies and he won the vote.
Yeah, so
how does that mean to Ghana?
Yeah, great. So it's been a very interesting 24 hours, particularly for all Americans and across the world as well. Donald Trump has been elected as a 47th president of the United States. He was previously the 45th president.
Yeah.
So and then Joe Biden came over and now he's now the 47th president. This would definitely impact on the world because, you know, America does a lot of business with a lot of countries like China, Africa, Russia, all over the world. So this is going to impact a lot of businesses. There's going to be some investor confidence somewhere because Trump ran on the ticket of being a businessman as well.
He's always been a businessman.
Yeah, so that's what we've known him to be, and also a little bit of a comedian here and there on some shows as WWE and all of that. But zooming down to Ghana specifically, you know, Ghana, we do a lot of trade with America. We have a lot of partnerships. We're currently under an IMF program, $3 billion bailout package for 3 years. That we would have to wait and see how that is going to impact on us because there's been a shift in the policies because Trump is also coming with his own policies. He wants border control. He wants less people, immigrants coming into the U.S., less trade.
You realize it was the same thing he introduced when he was the 45th president.
Yes.
And it's more or less like leveraging on that again this time around.
Yes, exactly. And the fear out there for most market watchers is he going to roll back all the policies that the Biden administration had brought in? You know, they had less tariffs, you know, with China and all of that. Trump is a bit more stiff. It's very difficult to convince him to do something. If he sets his mind on something, I mean, that's it. That's a done deal. You have to really convince him. And, you know, he's run on the ticket of this rhetoric of we have too many immigrants in America. We need to roll back, and that's going to cost a lot of money. Having to ask people to come back home. Because America literally is a business because the country is being run by a lot of immigrants and working class people. And I think that also reflected in Kamala Harris's as well.
There were some discussions going on about if he was going to deport all of them. You know, some of the children of these immigrants are already American citizens. Yeah. So is he going to deport them along with their children? Or how is it going to be? Like, people are a bit...
Yeah. I understand why, because there's a lot of fear with this particular presidency because now there's something we call the Project 2025, which is about rolling back all the policies, all the good things that we all know America to be, which is this open country that allows anyone to come in and immigrants can come in and make a lot of money. Now we'll have to wait and see how he's going to roll out some of these policies. But he said them on the campaign trail that, you know, he's going to ensure that even America may not even vote again. He actually said that, which is like they're towing towards a fascist line. You know, there's a Nazi comment about Hitler being one of his favorite models and all of that. So we'll have to wait and see how this particular presidency, but also, you know, he's had 4 years. The COVID situation also came to truncate that as well for him. But we'll be waiting to see how exactly, whether maybe he's garnered some experience from their first 4 years, and then we'll see how maybe perhaps, or maybe he may be a different president for some.
How does his win impact Ghana's economy?
It's definitely going to have some impact because now we are currently...
Are we looking at positive or negative impact? Because currently...
I think both.
Okay.
I think both because, you know, we have this thing called the AGOA, which is the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act that allows a lot of Ghanaian businesses here to send their goods and services to America with lesser tariffs and all of that. Now we're going to wait to see whether Trump is going to roll back those policies. And that's very important because Kamala Harris spent 1 week in Africa, which was last year or 2 years ago, to just sort of repair the relationship because, you know, majority of the African countries that America does business with, we feel like America sort of abandoned us and does more business with the West compared to Africa. So we'll see how whether then this new Trump administration is going to roll back those points. But it's very interesting to know that Trump now effectively has a lot of control. He has control of the Senate, which is the topmost arm of government. He also has literally almost control of the House of Representatives. He went back
to do his homework.
Yes, and now, you know, before he left, he brought in about 3 Supreme Court judges that he appointed. Now he's going to have the opportunity to bring in 2 more, because 2 more on the Supreme Court bench are likely to retire as well. So he's going to effectively have a lot of power, which is going to be on check. The Democrats can't tell him what to do. He's a president, he has an executive, he has a Senate, he has a House. He literally has full-blown control at this point.
Everything working for his favor.
Yes.
Is it that Kamala didn't really touch base with the voters?
I think from the numbers that we see, on election night, we saw that the first numbers that were coming, which are the predominant, we call it the red wave, we saw a lot of the numbers leaning towards the Trump. So a few hours after election, we saw Trump hitting about 90, and Kamala was about 23. Although, you know, all the polls hadn't closed, that was giving the indication that there was likely something to come. But some people argue that Kamala didn't really touch the base as well. There's also the argument whether Joe Biden also should have stepped down much earlier to give her this opportunity, because she only had 100 days to campaign and then come up with her policies and all of that.
Yeah. On a lighter note, you know, anytime the Republicans win, the NDC also wins. So, you know, when Donald Trump won, NDC came up with something that his policies align with theirs. So
the NPP too have also come out with a statement saying that that's their sister party, which is the Republican Party. But we'll have to wait and see. I think the dynamics in the US is different from I mean, we cannot look past how the historic voting pattern trends are. But I mean, the dynamics in the US are completely different from the dynamics here in Ghana as well.
It's true. Ours is in the next 30 days, so let's see how it goes. Thank you very much, Maoli.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Yeah, and moving on, flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has congratulated Donald Trump on his victory in the 2024 US presidential elections, which has captured global attention. In a post shared on his X on Wednesday, November 3rd, 2024, Mahama expressed his hopes for Trump's second term, stating, in quote, "Congratulations, former President at real Donald Trump, on your re-election as President of the United States of America. I trust your re-election will bring greater prosperity to the American people and strengthen peace, security, and economic growth worldwide," unquote. Trump's campaign focused on a simple yet powerful question, and I quote, "Is your life better off now, or was it better under Trump?" unquote. This resonated with many American voters who felt the effect of inflation, rising prices, and economic uncertainties during Joe Biden's presidency. His electoral victory marks a significant moment in U.S. history, as the 78-year-old Trump is set to become the second man in American history to serve 2 non-consecutive terms as president, following Grover Cleveland's precedent. And that's how we wrap up this week's edition of Ballot Briefing here on GhanaWeb TV. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, and share our videos. My name is Patricia Roxanne Hammond.